Welcome to today's Farm Life. I'm Doug Cunningham on the grounds of Dakota Fest, again at the SDSU tent, talking with Laura Edwards, the state climatologist, and you're the weather lady in South Dakota. And we talked earlier this year, and I just wanted to mention that you were right. You were right. Exactly. You were spot on when we talked earlier this year.
Well, thanks. I appreciate the compliment. But unfortunately, it came true. Unfortunately, the predictions for warmer than average and drier summer really have happened. And it's been pretty tough on the agriculture sector this year.
Yep. And now I'm going to ask you some big, important questions. Now, first, let's start with the next 30 days. I mean, what do you foresee like September as we get ready for harvest?
The temperature part is probably easier to explain, where odds are leaning towards warmer than average continuing through the next month or so and through the harvest season, to go through October into November. And precipitation, that's a little bit more challenging. The models, the computer models at this point aren't offering us a lot of information. They're kind of flipping back and forth between drier and wetter. Historically, our long-term trend is towards wetter fall seasons, but obviously that can't happen all the time. So we cross fingers that we can gain some moisture this fall, but obviously for agriculture this season, it's too late at this point. That'd be setting us up for next year, for 2022.
How about now leading into the winter? Does the hot, dry summer like this tend to stretch into the winter time, or does that change in the winter?
Well, the winter is our driest season, climatologically speaking, so it's very difficult to recover from a significant drought like we have right now in the winter season. So I think, what we have now is pretty deep in drought, and we're gonna have drought issues, no doubt, through the end of the year. And again, it's going to be relying more on next year's spring and snow melt, if we get snow, to really recover and get some substantial benefit, hopefully, in our croplands.
How about as far as the amount of snow? Dry weather brings dry weather, wet weather, that's the old saying. Is that going to be true?
The winter season's far enough off that I don't know that what's happening now will have much of an impact in the winter. What we do see kind of brewing in the Pacific Ocean is La Nina conditions. That doesn't tell us a lot for snowfall or winter season, except for temperature. It does lean us towards colder than average winter, and that's more likely in the later winter, February into March. In March, we can get good moisture, good snow, or rain, either way. So hopefully, if we do get some snow, colder weather would hold it out on the landscape a little longer and then melt when we need it in the spring.
Okay. So, yeah, great. Warm and hot, or hot and dry all summer, and then cold and dry all winter, right?
Yeah, I don't know about dry, but I think it's a coin toss for the winter season as far as precipitation goes.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much, Laura. State climatologist Laura Edwards, SDSU 10 here on the grounds of Dakota Fest. For today's Farm Life, I'm Doug Cunningham.